Hi guys, my name's Chris and I'm from Ireland, well, the north of Ireland. It's a pretty rainy place and it's not somewhere I would advise you go to. Not like Guiyang though, because Guiyang's a cool place. Guiyang's really beautiful. The weather's much better. It's shuang shuang de Guiyang, comfortable Guiyang is what they call it. It's quite cool in the summer. In the winters, it's quite nice as well. It doesn't drop too low. The school itself, Interlingua, it's a good place to work. I've been here for over 6 years now. I really recommend that anyone come here. It's a really cool atmosphere to work in. Some of the things that I really like about the school are things like not having you get creative freedom. You're in the classroom on your own. You get to form a real close bond with the kids. You get to know the parents as well because we've got such an open plan school. So you get to know everyone, and it's really nice. You can put faces to faces, and you get to know people really well. Another thing about that too is just being in the classroom on your own and not having a Chinese teacher for translation constantly. It's a nicer method of teaching. The kids pick it up more wholly in terms of they're not just hearing the translation one language to another. They're just hearing the teacher in the native accent speaking and using pictures, games, activities to introduce the stuff. So I think it's just the best form of learning, the best form of learning anything, I think, really, if you're not having translation, direct translation all the time. Another thing I really love about teaching here is the creative freedom you get. I like the way that we do have a basis, we do have textbooks that we can work off, flashcards, phonics books, and we also have an extensive library as well. But I like that on top of that, you can use your own freedom, you can come up with your own ideas. I mean, just an example of something I was doing the other day, it was quite an elementary class. We were teaching the numbers 0 through to 20. And what we did was we were teaching, how old are you? I'm 5 years old, I'm 6 years old. And what we did is we got a birthday cake in. The kids counted out candles. They put them in the cake. I lit them, obviously. We didn't let the kids use the lighter. And what they did is they came up and they said, I'm 5 years old, and blew out the candles. So it's a really fun, active way of learning. We got a little bit of a budget where we can buy things in and mix it up. So I just think that's the most pure way of teaching. The kids loved it. They got to turn off the lights. They got to blow out the candles. We sang happy birthday to them, and that's a special memory in any kid's mind, to have a birthday party. So if you can bring that into your classroom, make it fun, make it exciting, I think it's one of the best things about the school. On top of that as well, I think the extensive library we've got is great. I mean, we've got anything from books ready for kindergarten kids right through to older kids, and that's great. I mean, the older classes, it's more like a book club than a class. You just get a book, you pull out some themes, some tropes, and you have a conversation with them, and it's just the purest form of learning English. I think with the younger kids, what you can do is you will teach simple language, but then you've got picture books with some simple phrases, and you can introduce stuff from that too. So yeah, I would highly recommend coming here. Other than that, the city itself is great. I mean, when I first came here, it was very underdeveloped. I think it wasn't very westernized, and it was more difficult to live. But now it's growing. I think the city itself, it's become more westernized. So you have some of your home comforts, but as well, it's still got some of the old part of China. It's not just building, building, building. It's got some nice flat areas. It's got some beautiful mountains. Once you go out into the countryside, it's fantastic. It's got this karst formation rocks that are unbelievable. Nothing I've ever seen in Ireland, which is green and wet. Yeah, so I would really highly recommend Guiyang because it's just a bit different. I think once you go to Shanghai, Beijing, it's all the same. It's all just concrete jungles, and that's okay for a few times. But I think once you get out of the city, you see more natural beauty, you see more real things, and I think you get to see a bit of the older culture in China as well because Guizhou's a little bit more backwater. So yeah, I highly recommend anyone to come here. And me personally, I love teaching here. So yeah, thanks very much. And that's me. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Raquel, and I'm from Iowa. I came here to Interlingua, and I've been here for a while. There's a lot of things that I need to tell you about Interlingua, and in fact, it's my first job in China and one of the best experiences I've had with the school so far for many reasons. One of the primary reasons that I love Interlingua is that it offers you a room to grow as a teacher. You have several teachers or colleagues that you can bounce off ideas with. You can get classroom management techniques. You can get lesson plans, games, activities that you can share with each other and become a better teacher. Another reason that I came to school, or this school, is because I'm able to incorporate my own techniques into the classroom, such as my own background, my skills, my abilities. For one, I really like phonics, and sometimes some schools do not allow for a lot of phonics drilling, and at the end of every class here in this school, we're allowed to practice phonics for more than like 10 minutes or say that, for example. And there's so many other activities or things that I can have implemented into this classroom. There's a lot of creativity that goes behind scenes. One example that I got from my other colleagues is the management skills. Behind, you can see different pouches. I call them money pouches. And say if a student is doing really well in class, he or she is participating, they are doing a wonderful job, with doing their homework, listening to the teacher, listening to myself. I reward them with, money. Again, not my idea, some other person's idea, but nonetheless a great idea for them to be motivated to get money and work on different activities and have a better classroom environment. So at the end of every class, you tally the money, and then they get, like, say, a few stickers. At that age, they love stickers, and do a lot of activities like that. So that's a project that I've been working with, and it's wonderful, actually. I think that every teacher with that specific middle school age range should do that. Why I think you should come to Interlingua is because you will find this Interlingua institution more than a school. You'll find a family where you can help each other if you have any sort of need, if you lost your bank card, if you need to send money back home, if you need to, say, work a little bit more with the language. Everyone is extremely nice. Staff, Chinese staff, and our colleagues, we're all willing to help each other. And we integrate, or we work well together, we mesh really well. So that's number one. You have a very friendly atmosphere to come to and work. You have your own ideas where you can bring them to the table and also improve them with us and become a better teacher. Last but not least, Guiyang is a fantastic city. It combines the Western atmosphere of what you're used to perhaps from your own culture or background, as well as the Chinese mentality and the Eastern thought. So it's not entirely Chinese where you'll find yourself lost, but it's also a good combination, a good balance where you will be able to thrive as a teacher. So I think you should consider Interlingua. You should come to Interlingua and become a better teacher. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Paul. I'm from Texas. I don't know if you're familiar with Texas. I love Texas. A little dangerous though, because you can carry concealed weapons. I don't like this aspect, but every other aspect about Texas I absolutely adore. So let's see, I love pizza. I love Guizhou. I wouldn't be here for 4 or 5 years if I didn't fall in love with the scenery, the people, the food. If you come here, I think you'll find the food fabulous, amazing, especially if you like spicy food. But now let me get to class real quick. I teach kindergarten all the way up to high school. With kindergarten, right now I'm teaching them a little song called 5 Little Monkeys. And in the song, we're going to wear little monkey ears, monkey tails, and they're going to dance for their parents. The song goes like this. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. It's very cute. The kids love it. They're very enthusiastic. So that can be very, very rewarding. High school is very fun and rewarding too. It takes a little more effort to get into them. But once you do, it can be a very rewarding experience. For example, like we're reading Madame Bovary, and for the most part they're enjoying it. And then maybe every week we do a topic or we do a current event. Last week we did, what did we do? We covered a story about a man in Italy who stole some bread and cheese. And after 4 years, the court eventually found him not guilty of taking this food on the basis that he was hungry, he was starving, he needed food. So we talked about this subject. and now we've turned it into a foundation. So what we've done is the kids think of a crisis or a disaster or some humanitarian cause. And they're going to take this cause, and then they're going to set up their own foundation, and we're going to do a little advertisement using this foundation and this cause. I have very high expectations for them, and I think it will be very successful.
Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm an English teacher here in Interlingua. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I'm from near Manchester, and I started my TEFL journey after I finished university. So I was doing accounting and finance, and I thought, no, I don't really want to do that. I've always wanted to be an ancient history teacher. So first, I thought, how can I go about that? And I love to travel as well, so going away to China and teaching at the same time for me just combined all those elements together to get my experience going on. I also went to a summer camp in Spain just to see if I wanted to teach, and it was very not in the classroom, you're doing activity-based outside, and that for me was a really, really enjoyable experience. So I was like, yes, I really want to teach. So I thought, okay, I want to go to China, and I had a few interviews, and I met with Chris, who you'll see here. Beautiful teacher. The work environment here is like, it's like family, you know, everyone's very welcoming, warm, and the assistants are as well. What I like about Guiyang, what really attracted me is the nature element. I like getting outside. So here you have the hot springs here, all year round, 45 degrees. There's only like 10 kilometers north of the city, especially from where I live. And we bought some scooters as well, electric scooters, great way to get around. There's also a forest park with monkeys, hours of entertainment. You could just sit there, watch the monkeys. There's other forest parks there as well. There's mountains everywhere. It's not your typical Chinese city. It's like beautiful, and there's lots of forest parks around. There's lots to do. The food here as well, if you like spicy food, that's great. If you don't, then there's other things to eat. But for me, the food is really, really good. A bit about the school. So we don't have any Chinese assistants here or people assisting with the language, so we only speak English in the classroom. And for me, that's a better way to teach. Plus, you're given a free license to do what you wish. So some schools, they give you a lesson plan to do, but for us, we have a textbook. Okay? So we have a textbook, we have the chosen vocabulary we need, and then they let us do what we wish. So whatever games, activities you want to do with the kids, you can do. You also have a little budget, so if you want to take the kids out for ice cream, you want to take to the shop to get the language in a kind of real life situation, then you can go do that, which for me was a real seller for the school especially. Yeah, I don't know what else to say for that. So as a final point, please come here. It's a nice family environment. We'll love to have you here at Interlingua, and I think you have an amazing time. Thank you.
Hello, dear Grit. My name's Philip and I'm here from Ireland. I arrived into Guiyang about 3 weeks ago, and so far it's been fantastic. Your weather's fantastic. Unlike at home in Ireland, we have rain and wind all year round, so it's good. I can wear shorts and t-shirts here. The food is great. It's good, it's spicy, which is nice. We don't have that in Ireland. I love travelling, and so before I came here I said, well, wouldn't it be great to travel and to work? So I qualified about 4 months ago as an English teacher, and I have an opportunity of a lifetime to live and work in China. And I have to say it's been fantastic so far. So I'm here at Interlingua as a second language teacher. What I like about Interlingua is there's great support, there's great office admin team that help the teachers, help the students. When you assign as a student, you're tested and you're assigned a different class. So if you're a beginner, you go to kindergarten. If you're advanced, you go to an upper level. What I like about Interlingua is it's mainly two things. First of all is we have freedom. So we can do what we want with the class. We're told teach English, we go by the books. But it just doesn't stop there. Unlike some schools, they're very strict with that system, whereas we can take the kids out, go for ice cream, we can go for pizza, we can arrange a little party in the classroom. You know, we're not confined to the classroom. We can have an evening where we're cooking using English, so if we're learning about meats and bacon, we can adapt that in the kitchen. So we're not just strict to the classroom, we have that freedom, which is good. It's creative and the kids will enjoy it better. Second thing I like about the school is we teach the 4 skills: reading, writing, listening and speaking. But together they're not enough without grammar. So Interlingua will focus on developing students' grammar levels for each activity, whether it's speaking, writing, listening or hearing. What else is important is we have a wide variety of classes going from kindergarten right up to teenager. So we have kindergarten, we have 4, let's say, different levels of English from beginner kind of intermediate. We also teach one-to-one for some students that wish to go to university or if they want to go travelling, we cater for them. We also have classes that specifically focus on reading and writing. So it develops their skills even more if they're doing exams in school. Also, what's great is that if you continue learning English, you have an opportunity to go travel. Business is near the international language of the world. You can go to America to study, go to Ireland, have a few Guinnesses. Basically by learning English, it opens the door to a lot of opportunities. So yeah, drop by Interlingua and say hello. Bye.
Hi everybody, nice to be here talking with you today. My name's Scott and I am from Colorado originally in the United States. I am here to tell you a little bit today about this school, why I decided to come here, and some of the things that I like about working here. So let's start initially about some of the reasons that personally I decided to come to this school. I'm currently in my 9th month of working here, which is I guess I've been in China for a little over a year and a half. And I have been at this school primarily because I think that this is a place that offers professional development with a competitive salary. Now, I think that it's the biggest thing about this school is that it challenges me every day. So I am very much a person who's open to new experiences and new challenges. So I think that if you are also this kind of a person, which I think many of the people who come and teach English abroad are, then I think that you also would enjoy working here. I think that there's a lot to be said, for example, for the variety of things that we're allowed to do in class. You know, I think that we have lots of cool idea sharing and things like that. And, you know, I've learned so much about teaching itself. Back at home, I've got a notebook that's just stacked full of activities that I've picked up here and things that I can do in the classroom from other people. And that's one of the things I really, really enjoy. I feel like I've developed so much as a teacher and been challenged and been able to grow as both an educator and as a person. So I think if you are really looking for a place to advance as a professional teacher, this is definitely a nice place to do that. For example, you know, we were asked to share a few of the things we do in our classroom. Well, these are Scott bucks, and here we see this little dollar with a picture of me and my beautiful flowing hair, and and this is something that I hand out to the kids if they're doing well, and if they're messing around, I take away from them. So that's a good little classroom management system that I've been able to come up with. And you know, we have little wallets and everything like that. But you know, I think that there are things basically that you can learn from the people around you, implement them into your classroom. And one of the things that I really like about this place is that, you know, I remember talking to Manny the other day. He said, go ahead and make mistakes. And I think it's okay to try new things and to do experiments in the classroom. And even if something, even if an activity kind of falls apart a little bit, there are things we can fall back on, like our dictations and some you know, activities that we have, and reading and things like that. Speaking of reading, we're doing a lot of Dr. Seuss in my classes. You know, we're encouraged to bring outside texts into the classes, which I find to be a really fun way of teaching reading to my kids right now. With my level 2s, we're doing we're reading Hop on Pop, which is a lot of fun. So, you know, that's one thing that I like about working here, is the challenge and the ability to try new things and do new activities. The other thing I like about working here is that for 5 days a week, you are guaranteed 2 meals a day. So that's it's nice to be able to get free food. Free food is fantastic, and the lady who cooks our food is this very, very nice lady who tries to, you know, the things she makes are just absolutely delicious. So if you like eating, which I think most people do, you I think might enjoy working here. I think in terms of you know, the things that we're able to eat, it's nothing boring. It's all this cool Chinese food, which kind of helps you get into the culture a little bit. And the other thing is that if you're looking to study the language, my goodness, you are guaranteed, well, theoretically you're guaranteed, but it doesn't really happen every week, but never mind. But we have every week, or more or less every week, we have Chinese lessons. Free Chinese lessons. So if you're a language person like I am, then you have every opportunity to come and study Chinese, and if you know, to come and study Chinese and to work on your Chinese. So that's really nice as well. I think that's about all for me. But yeah, Guiyang's a wonderful city. You know, the other thing about Guiyang, great weather. Okay, now that I think about Guiyang, the weather is very nice. I cannot abide, I can't stand hot weather. I'm from Colorado, I'm from the mountains, so I hate hot weather. And Guiyang is perfect because it's cool and rainy and kind of this really kind of pleasant climate that you never start sweating profusely in, which is really nice. So that's my 2 cents about this school, and I think that I hope that you will come to a good decision, whether it's here or at another school or whatever. Good luck in your teaching and in becoming a good educator. Take care.
Hello, I'm Jay, and I teach here at Interlingua in Guiyang. This school's really good because we teach entirely in English, so we don't have Chinese assistants in the classroom with us, which means the Chinese children learn here the same way English children in England learn English. So this works really well for the young kids because they absorb the words and they associate more with the object rather than having to translate with the Chinese, which is a more complex way to teach. But it means that us foreign teachers aren't limited by our knowledge of Chinese. We can teach just in our own languages, and it's a challenge. But for the children to get it, I think it really helps to cement their knowledge more firmly. And so the children tend to learn quicker this way, I think. It's also great that the class sizes are small and we have the resources to do all the things that we need with them. So the children are never short of things to do or activities. We try and teach in a fun way. So it's mostly like language learning games. The children just think they're playing and they don't even know that they're being taught English, but by the end of the class,
Hello everybody, my name is Jamoki and I work here at Interlingua. Welcome. I'm from England originally and I've been working here for a few years and I really enjoy it here. The great thing is that you meet a lot of teachers from all over the world, most Western speaking countries, but everyone kind of has their own cultures or you know, they have their own ethnicities as well, which is really cool and you get to learn about new cultures. Also, being in China is just a great place to be. It has like thousands of years of history. The language is beautiful to learn and very useful. Cool, yeah. I really enjoy teaching here because you get to use practical things when you teach. For example, with my younger children, We use fruit when we're learning about fruit, and we can just spend like half an hour eating different fruit and drinking drinks, and that's a better way to learn than just reading it from a book. For example, if we're doing time, maybe we'll make a clock and we'll like draw a clock on the board and have a go saying time that way. We also were learning things like the bakery. So I took my class out with their parents and we just walked to the bakery and we spoke English along the way. We bought bread and croissants and cakes and just tried them, and that was okay, that was great. With my higher levels, what's really cool is that we can, I was reading like Harry Potter with some of them, which was really good. I really enjoy reading that, and they did as well. But we also read articles of like current events in the West and in China, and it's great for them to discuss and like open their minds to new ideas. The other week we were talking about cultural appropriation because recently in the news there was that some white guy in an American university with dreadlocks. So I gave them an article about that, and then we had a discussion about like, was it right for him to do that or not, which is really cool. Sometimes in my smaller classes, we just go out and get an ice cream on a hot day and just have a chat and just see what we can, they can learn new words and actually use their English practically rather than just learning from a textbook, which I think is probably the most important thing. I really enjoy this city. I've been to other cities in China, and this definitely is my best city. I think the food is great. I think it's not too Western, and it still has that kind of Chinese vibe to it. I think other bigger cities in China kind of lose their true essence, and they're very like Westernized, and to me that's not too special. Coming to Guiyang, you've still got Western shops and you can get everything you want at home. But it also, you can go out to the street and you've still got like people selling food on the side of the road and like fruit carts getting pushed down the road. It feels a bit more crazy than some cities. Like I've been to Beijing and I don't quite get that vibe from it. It also has like great bars as well. So on the weekend we like to chill and have a beverage, which is always fun, and there's some good music, and you just got to look and find cool places. The people here are also very friendly. I've heard of friendlier than northern people. It's a more like chilled and relaxed here, which is really cool. What else haven't I mentioned? I don't know. I think I've got everything, most things. Come to Guiyang, come to Interlingua. It's a great place. Goodbye.
Hello, future teachers. My name is Courtney, and I hope to see you one day soon. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Courtney. I come from the United States, from Texas and Georgia, mainly in the South. I recently graduated from the University of Texas in Arlington with my Bachelor's of Communications Media. I really enjoy it here in China. It's my first time abroad, so I really enjoy it here in China. So let me give you a little bit of information about our wonderful school. So firstly, this is a brand new facility. We really love it here. We have this massive, extensive library behind us. You can find books from The Hobbit, from Alice in Wonderland, and our childhood favorites, Dr. Seuss, like Cat in the Hat. We can utilize any of these materials inside of our classrooms, which all of us do weekly. What I really love about Interlingua is the fact that we have the choice and decisions in regards to teaching. We don't have to follow a certain curriculum. We do have some guidelines that they like for us to follow here at Interlingua, but we have a lot of freedom in terms of what we utilize inside of our classroom. So as you can see behind me, we have this amazing, amazing stage that they just put together for us because we're going to be doing some performances this semester. So if you're into drama and you like theater, you can definitely utilize that inside your classroom, have your kids act on stage, do certain types of role plays. I like photography, I like art, I like for my kids to be able to express themselves inside of the classroom. So I like to utilize a lot of different I like to do a lot of coloring, painting. A lot of my kids like music, so we like to utilize music inside the classroom, especially with older kids. They know what they like in terms of music, and you can definitely teach, different types of grammatical tenses, utilizing music. My kids really love it when we use music. Like I said, with my younger kids, when we're using colors or talking about colors, or doing anything in terms of grammar or vocabulary in that unit, I like to utilize art in my class. Painting, like I said, coloring. We like to do a lot of photography in my classes. My students really love that. So yeah, you get a lot of creative freedom inside of your classrooms, which I really, really love. You're not just so compound and strict in terms of having to stick with certain curriculum, which I really love. A little bit else about the school and the teachers you might be meeting soon. So like I said, I'm from the United States, but all of us are from a lot of different places. We have a few people from the UK, Ireland, we have some people from South Africa before. So you're gonna meet a lot of cool, creative people here at Interlingua that you will probably make friends with for a lifetime. And like I said, this facility is amazing now. We have big classrooms for all of us. They're nice and spacious. We have these amazing views of this amazing city. I love it here. And like I said, it's very bright, very open, and the kids here are amazing, and you'll definitely love all of our kids, and all of our teachers are very friendly. So I guess I will see you here soon, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to one of my best friends here at Interlingua. His name is Chris.